Hello and welcome to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. I am Craig Forrestall. I am That Sports Guy. Go ahead and find me on Twitter at that_sports_guy, where you can find all of my latest football takes. Also, NFLDraftDiamonds.com is proud to feature the That Sports Guy podcast on its website. Stop by NFLDraftDiamonds.com, your official draft coverage king. Hello, everybody. Craig Forrestall back with another player spotlight interview. Today, we will be going down with Trea Samifua, defensive tackle from University of Dubuque. But before we get into it, this is That Sports Guys podcast. Go ahead and find me on Twitter at that_sports_guy. And Trey, why don't you say hello and let everyone know where they can find you on Twitter as well?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Trea Samifua. You guys can find me at Trey Smooth on Twitter. And you guys can go ahead and give me a follow if you guys want to.
Yeah, definitely go ahead. Give him a follow. He's an interesting guy once you get to peel back the onion a little bit like we're going to today. And I think the most interesting thing that I saw when I was doing some research was talking on that Twitter bio, you had a city in Hawaii linked, but your roster bio has a high school in Alaska listed as your hometown.
Yep.
So maybe if you just talk to us about that Hawaii-Alaska connection.
Yep. So I'm born and raised in a small city in Hawaii on the west side called Nanakuli. I was born and raised there, and I went to middle school there. And after middle school, I ended up transferring to Alaska and ended up playing my high school career over there. So I would honestly say that I would call Hawaii my home because that's where I was taught a lot of things in my life. But I would also say that Alaska is my second home because I really found my passion in football when I played in high school over there. So both of those states really mean something to me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and the first thing that comes to my mind is going from Hawaii to Alaska. I hope you didn't make that.
Exactly.
I hope you didn't make that move in the middle of winter or something. How was that? How was that transition going from the beaches to? Is it true the 24 hours of darkness?
Yep, it is exactly true. I hope people say to you. But that transition was very hard for me because I was used to the hot sun and just going to be in that cold weather in Alaska was really hard for me because I'm not used to it. But as I lived there, I really got used to the weather and I loved it in Alaska. And I have a lot of family out there, so it kind of went well for me.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like you said, you moved out to Alaska to play high school football, and I mean, most recently, you know, the world's been taken on fire by Tua Tagovailoa, you know, and the rest of the Hawaiians that have come on the mainland and started to dominate on the mainland. And then we know the tradition with Hawaii over there and the talent that they keep on the island. So talk to us about Alaska and the football culture up there, because it seems that we've already gotten a snippet of what football means in Hawaii, but I don't really know what football means in Alaska.
To me, I really think Alaska is very overlooked. I feel like there's a lot of great players that came from Alaska, but it's just very hard for us to get recruited because, you know, everybody thinks that Alaska, you know, doesn't have a lot of talented guys over there, and the level of the game over there is really low. That's what they think. But I really think there's a lot of good players that come up from Alaska, but it's just hard for us to get recruited, you know, because it's who talks about Alaska, you know? So it's like it's crazy.
No, I hear you. Like you said,
so
go ahead. Sorry, my bad, Trey.
It's crazy. So I feel like a lot of guys, you know, they like to take that JuCo route so they can get noticed more, you know, because it's hard for us to get recruited from our high school because it's very small, and coaches, you know, it's really hard for us to get recruited because, you know, it's just hard for us because Alaska is this different type of ball, and people always overlook us, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like you said, the junior college route, that was actually the route that you initially took, right? You spent some time at the junior college ranks.
Yep.
So maybe if you could talk about just the junior college experience, because we all get the glitz and the glamour from Netflix with Last Chance U, and, you know, they glorify junior college football, but I know that it's not as glamorous as the cameras make it look. So what was your experience?
Exactly. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this is 100% true. I stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment with 11 guys. I kid you not, it was the one of the crazy experience that I experienced, because I never had that happen in my life. And to be with like 10 different other guys from different states was very hard for me because I didn't know those guys, and I don't know how they are, and I don't know how they would treat me, coming in because I'm a youngin. And it was just very hard for me. But the struggle, like, of being in junior college in California was very hard for me because we had to pay for our own rent. We had to find our own food, our transportation. Everything was just hard. We really had to get it out the mud.
Yeah, because I think one thing that a lot of people don't know about junior college football in California is it's non-scholarship, whereas what we see with the junior colleges in
Exactly.
Iowa, Kansas, Mississippi on Netflix, that's all scholarship ball. Like you said, you had to go out and find your
Exactly.
meals. The other schools that are being documented on that show, those athletes, they have access to a cafeteria. They have meals provided for them. So it really is just a completely
Exactly.
different world. Now, I just got
Yep.
to know. So you have almost a dozen guys under one roof in a two
A
bed
two
in a
bedroom.
two
Yep.
bedroom.
And a two bedroom. Yep.
How many air mattresses were there in like just that general living area? Was it just all air mattresses?
No, no. There was about like two air mattresses, two couches, and the rest was on the ground.
Okay, yeah. So when you're talking about you know those types of living quarters, and like you said, not really knowing the guys that you were going to be coming into, how did you get paired up with those other 10 or so guys?
So the D line coach from the junior college I went to, he paired me up with guys that played the same position as me, a couple D linemen. But so when he paired us up, we had some other new guys coming in, and he kind of put like all the out of state guys together,
Hmm.
So for some reason, and it was crazy to me because I met a lot of guys from different states,
And then
and it was they all had different attitudes, so it was kind of hard for me to like really like get to know them.
And now is in junior college, is that where the pregame tradition of reggae music came in? Where did the whole reggae before
Nah,
games come in?
that came in high school.
And like, what are we talking? We talking Buju Banton? We talking Burning Spear? We talking Bob Marley and the Wailers? Like, what's the playlist?
Nah, we talking about like Fiji. Fiji is one of the biggest artists that I listen
Hmm.
to before games, and also my mom's brother Fia. He's another reggae artist too. I like to listen to before games too. It really just mellows me out, gets me relaxed, and those are the two artists that I really listen to a lot before football games. And they'll tell me like, how do you do that? I always tell them like it really just relaxes me, and when the game comes, I get to take all my anger out.
And um, going on that, the taking anger out on the field. You mentioned something to me while we were talking and setting up this conversation. You've actually overcome a lot of hardship. You've actually lost four
Yep,
family members,
yep,
four people very near and dear to your heart.
yes.
Maybe if you could just shed some light on the emotional roller coaster that has, and trying to continue to work towards your goals and just how you've persevered.
hmm So in 2016, I lost my grandpa, and then that next year, I lost my uncle. His name is Levy. And then after that year, I lost my grandma, who I was very close to, and I was like the baby. And just recently, I just lost my uncle George. Everybody calls him Big G. So like having those losses in my life, it really motivated me to just to do better and just lead the way for my siblings. I really want to be a good example for my siblings, especially because I have a little brother and little sisters. I just want to be a great example for them, and let them know that they can reach any goals they put their mind to.
Definitely, like you said, reaching any goals that they put their mind to. Once you left your junior college experience, that's when you found your way out to Dubuque. So, what is it like in Dubuque? I mean, you already know what the cold is like because of your
hmm
time in Alaska, but why Dubuque, and how did you find your way out there?
So I had a my quarterback that I played high school football with. He was older than me. He ended up playing over there at University of Dubuque and coaching over there as well. So like he really was talking to me about going there, and I wasn't able to get my AA, so I was like, dang, I should just go and just chance it right now and give it all I got and see what happens. So I ended up committing to University of Dubuque, and it was kind of hard for me because I was getting a lot of different offers, from different schools and higher levels, but I still chose University of Dubuque. And to me, I feel like you could go anywhere as long as you do your thing, and you ball out. And I feel like Dubuque was probably the perfect fit for me, even though it was a small school. I feel like everything worked out well, and I feel like this year is going to be a big year for me.
And go ahead and talk a little bit about that. What is the not only the personal expectation that you have for this season with your own performance, but what's the general team goal? What are you guys playing for? Is it an American Rivers Conference title?
Yep. Yes, we're playing for that, and we're trying to get a national title too as well. And I feel like we have the guys to do it, and we have a lot of guys returning back. And I feel like this is our year to win the conference. And I really think our team is gonna, this team is going to be a good team this year. I feel like everyone has the right mindset, and everyone is grinding like very hard. And I can't wait to get to work with my boys.
And like you said, we can't wait to get to work. Now, how were you and the rest of the Dubuque football program impacted by the COVID-19 and coronavirus outbreak and some of the changes that brought about?
Man, COVID-19 really, I think it really messed me up a lot because I feel like I was getting stronger and faster, by working out in the weight room and going on the field, doing field work. But like even though this COVID is happening, I still try to like, get a workout in and make sure that I'm in shape. So when by the time game time comes, I'll be ready. So I don't want to, and just like in my teammates too, I know a lot of them is working like very hard right now. They're like, going out for runs, even though we can't go on the field. They're doing home workouts. So I can't wait to, man, get to work with my boys because I feel like everyone is on the right mindset
And,
and
and
everyone's
you're
on the right track.
and you're talking about this hunger that the team has. So
Hmm.
maybe if we just build off that for people that might not be familiar with D3 football, what's the
You,
most overlooked aspect of D3 football in your mind?
to me, I feel like D3 football is overlooked. There's a lot of talented guys in the D3 division, and I feel like a lot of guys go to D3 because of like un, unaware situations, and I feel like D3s you could really go somewhere if you really just put your all in and just ball out. But I feel like we get overlooked so much because we're small schools. We don't get that much scholarship money, and just like the stuff that D1s get and that we don't have is very hard on us.
Oh, definitely. And like you said, there have been some Division 3 players that have, made that huge leap from the D3 ranks to the NFL. This year, Ben
Hmm.
Barch was drafted offensive tackle
Yep.
from St. John's in Minnesota. I know North Central's quarterback Brock Rutter signed with the San Francisco 49ers undrafted. So like you said,
Hmm.
as long as the talent's there,
Yep.
the scouts, the teams, they will find you.
They will find
Um,
you exactly. Exactly.
and you know what? And Trey, we've talked a lot about football, but I think it's time we get into some stuff where the people get to know who you are a little bit,
Hmm.
off the field. So
Hmm.
if you'll be a good sport, I'm going to go ahead put you on the spot. What's that song that you're embarrassed to admit in public?
I would probably have to say Sherry by Jerry Boys. Oh, Jersey Boys, I think. I forgot who
Yep.
sings that, but it's
Yeah.
called Sherry.
Yeah. No, it's the Jersey Boys. No, you're right.
Oh,
Jersey
Jersey
Boys.
Boys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, that's a
I would
good
have
one.
to say that song.
That's going way back in the day. I'm surprised you're able to
Yep.
pull that one out.
I'm throwing it back.
Oh yeah. Hey, what about a dream car?
Dream car, I would have to say probably S I'll probably have to say I'll probably have to go with a Hummer.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
why, but I always like Hummers for some reason. I feel like I would love to have one in the future.
And let's go back to high school. Everyone either loves or hates high school, but they always have that one favorite class. What was that
Hmm.
memorable class for you in high school?
To me, it would have to be I ain't gonna lie, it would have to be gym class because my gym teacher was was such a great guy to me, and he took care of me, and he really believed in me, and he said that I could really be somebody in the future, and he really believed in me, and I love that.
Hey, you know what? It's a great thing. We always need someone on our side, moving us forward. Now, Trey, if I wanted to get something to eat around
Exactly.
campus, what's the best restaurant?
Ooh, to be honest, I would go with Hy-Vee. It's like a store, but it has Asian food over there. I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
the Asian food is not really up to like up notch like Hawaii, but I would say it's still pretty decent, you know.
Is that what you miss the most back in Hawaii that you can't get in Dubuque?
This is the food. I miss the food so much, and I was raised on Hawaii food all my life.
Oh man, so you're trying to get used to it over there. You're probably over at that Hy-Vee all the time. Um,
Yep.
Now, if you won $1 million and you could only donate it to a charity or to a specific cause, what would it be?
I would probably have to say to breast cancer. And the reason why I say that is because my grandma was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she meant a lot to me. So it's just,
Absolutely.
yeah. So sorry about that. It kind of hurts me, man, to talk about that. But I would have
Hey,
to say breast cancer.
hey, absolutely. I've seen loved ones go through bouts with cancer as well, and I've seen it take their life. So I definitely understand the emotion. So, uh,
Thank you.
everybody, that is Trea Samifua. I am Craig Forrestall. Hopefully, you got to know a little bit about him. But don't forget to keep an eye on Dubuque this year in their football program. As Trey said, they got some big hopes and dreams looking for a natty. For Trea
That's
Samifua,
it.
I'm Craig Forrestall. Trey, any last words?
Nah, I just want to say, just rest in peace, my uncle Big G, and rest in peace on my loved ones, and just want to shout out my family and everyone who supported me. That this is gonna be a big year for me, so I hope you guys are watching.
Awesome. Well, that'll do it for us. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.
Hey everybody, Craig Forrestall. Thanks for tuning in and listening to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at that_sports_guy to catch all the latest updates and podcast episodes. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.